If you've been watching my videos for a long time, you probably saw my Alan Wake review, which I did when it first came out, which was like a year ago, right? Well, just this past week, we got Alan Wake American Nightmare on Xbox Live Arcade. I jumped on it. I really didn't mind Alan Wake at all. The story didn't really grab me that much, and the fact that I had to get a DLC to be able to actually finish the story, I felt was a little bit of a ripoff. But overall, the game did Silent Hill better than some of the most recent Silent Hill games. So I kind of expected a little bit more from American Nightmare. American Nightmare controlled a little wonky, just like the original Alan Wake, and the graphics left a lot to be desired. At least the character graphics and the up-close textures. The vistas were really pretty, but mostly the graphics weren't that great. But it is an XBLA game, so I kind of gotta, let it pass on a few things. I played the full game live streaming on my Twitch TV channel with a lot of you, and you guys were awesome. I was enjoying it at first. We were kind of adding our own dialogue, having fun watching the TV screens and the well-dressed ghost show. And we just overall just had a great time, just, kind of picking fun at how the game wasn't super polished, but it was still enjoyable. That was until I realized what the game's main flaw was. This is where there might be some spoilers, so if you're actually looking forward to playing this, don't watch this any further, because some of the things I'm about to talk about could be considered spoilers. The first hour of the game was spent going to 3 different main locations, like the hotel, and then I went to a observatory, and then I went to a drive-in. At each 3 of these locations, I basically had to find 3 items to put something in motion to then have to go to the next location. After the drive-in, something happens, and I get booted all the way back to the very beginning of the game, where I first started. I didn't get booted back to where I lost everything. That's just part of the game. So that pissed me off. The fact that I just spent an hour to an hour and a half playing this game and now I gotta do it all over again? Yep, you sure do. It's part of the story. This time around, at each 3 of those different locations, instead of having to find 3 things, I only had to find 1. Alright, you make it a little bit more simple on me, but still. I'm playing the exact same game I just played. Then, I get to the drive-in area, same thing happens, and guess what? I get booted all the way back to the beginning of the game and have to do everything all over again. There's nothing new. The game seriously makes you play the exact same game 3 times and then ends. This game just felt like the developers had an idea for a 1-hour game, couldn't think of anything else, and was just like, we'll just make them play it again. I understand it was part of the story. I was rewriting reality and all that crap. But I've had to go back in time and replay areas of games before that did it great, that did it really wonderfully. That was just like, whoa, this is actually really cool. Look, I'm replaying this. Things are a little bit different. It's almost like a dream world. Not Alan Wake American Nightmare. This game didn't even try to make things more interesting or different. It really was the hugest disappointment. Now, if I hadn't been playing it on live stream, I would have quit as soon as I realized I was going to have to play through the whole game a second time. I would have put down the controller and be done with it. But everybody on live stream made it really fun, made it enjoyable. I think this game is going for $15. Honestly, out of everything, I played it from beginning to end, it's not worth it. It's worth $5 at the most. Because again, paying $15 for a game that you're going to play through 3 times, and not even a creative 3 times, is a complete ripoff. When I finished the game, I didn't feel like it was another notch on my belt. You know when you finish a game, you feel good about it, even an XBLA game, you're like, I just beat that game. Yeah. Alan Wake, I just felt, or American Nightmare, I just felt like, oh, what a waste of my time that was. It didn't entertain me. It didn't mentally stimulate me. It didn't do anything. It didn't make me feel emotional about it. In fact, the only emotions I felt about the game was anger for making me play it over and over again. A lot of times you had conversation options. No, wait. Nix that. You had different conversations, and you would press B for a conversation option, but you only had one option. It was like, press B to say this to this character. And that's all you could do. Why make me press a button to say something in a conversation if you don't give me options to say something else? Just make me sit through the cutscene. I don't want to have to sit there and press a button every time Alan Wake wants to open his mouth. So yeah, wrapped up. The game was a huge disappointment to me. Huge. In graphics, in gameplay mechanics, in the character development, basically in every way, this game was a disappointment to me. Out of 5, I'd probably have to give it a 2. And the reason it gets to that high of a score for me is because when I look back at it, I did have fun playing it. But not because of the game. The game did nothing to make me have fun playing it. I had fun playing it on stream with a lot of you guys. You made this game enjoyable. And that is the only reason why I enjoyed my time with Alan Wake American Nightmare. In fact, we even joked in stream that the game, it's not the actual game that's the American Nightmare, it's having to play through it that is the nightmare. And that is a very true statement. If you're an Alan Wake fan, I still recommend you to wait. Wait on this game until it's like at least half off. If you're kind of on the fence, like, I don't know, I could play it, I could not, skip it. It's not worth your $15. And that is my review. Like it or not, that's my opinion. Thanks, guys.